Hello there! So as you probably know, I turned 16 at the beginning of the summer, which meant I could get my driver's license. In my state, you don't have to take a test to get your driver's license. You just have to have had your permit for 6 months and have passed driver's ed. And I did pass driver's ed. Barely, but I passed. I don't like driving very much because it freaks me out and I'm not very good at it, but it is helpful having your license. I will say that much because now you can drive places like work and school mostly for me. Here's something that's related to this story. Usually I cannot sleep past about 8:30 in the morning, so I never have to set an alarm even if I have to work in the morning. However, one morning I accidentally slept in until 10:45 and I had to work at 11, so that didn't work very well. So from now on, I've been setting an alarm in the morning when I have to work. This means I have to leave my phone and ringer on overnight. This one morning when I had to work, my dad calls me at 8 o'clock saying that he left his driver's license and wallet at home and he needs me to drive over to his work and drop them off for him. Now, I'm not generally the most helpful person bright and early in the morning, but I did it because my parents fund my gas, and so therefore I do what they tell me to. I didn't bother to change out of my pajamas because I figured I'd just be seeing my dad. It didn't matter. So I get in the car and drive down the street and everything's going fine until some woman pulls out behind me and she starts following me too close. Now, there's nothing really you can do about someone that's following you too close. It's not like you can just stop in the middle of the road and be like, hey, you're too close to me, you need to stay a car's length behind me. I don't remember driver's ed, that's why I almost failed. No, I almost failed because I drove into oncoming traffic and yelled at a curb. So I just try to ignore her and I stop at a stop sign and she stops behind me and I figure everything's fine as I wait for the traffic to pass by so I can continue. Except then I hear a crunching noise. She rear-ended me at the stop sign, so I'm like, oh my god, I just got rear-ended. Like, insert maybe a couple colorful words in there that I'm not gonna repeat. But yes, that's pretty much what I was feeling. My dad's work is only about 10 more feet down the road, so I pull into the driveway and stop in the parking lot, and she pulls in next to me. This little old lady steps out, and I step out too, and I'm in my pajamas, which is an oversized t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and all my hair is on top of my head. So this is someone you're gonna take seriously, obviously. I'm not gonna mention what I wasn't wearing. If you're a girl, you might be able to figure that one out. But yeah, we're not gonna discuss that part of it. She was kind of like, oh, my foot just slipped off the brake pedal and I just kind of like hit you accidentally. I learned from driver's ed, you're always supposed to get information from people, but however, there wasn't any damage to her car or my car except for a couple of cracks in the bumper. The old lady was like, oh, since there wasn't any damage, we don't need to exchange information or anything. I wasn't quite comfortable with this, except I wasn't really assertive enough to tell her, oh, how about you just give me your information just in case. So I'm just like, okay. So this old lady gets back in her car and drives off on her merry way to go hit some more teenagers. My dad comes out of his work about 5 minutes after she leaves, and so this would be the perfect opportunity just to talk to him about what happened and if I did the right thing. But no! I was using my smarticles and decided not to tell him because I was afraid he was going to yell at me for not getting her info or just, getting into this situation. Good idea. I don't say anything about what happened, and I give him his driver's license and wallet and go home, where I become increasingly more worried that now when I actually do tell him, he's gonna be angry at me for not telling him when it happened. So then I just go to work and complain about it to the people I work with. Thanks, guys! I actually tell him later that evening when I'm home from work, and guess what? He wasn't mad at all. He did say I should have probably gotten her information, but he also just said, stuff happens. Actually, he used a different word, but I'm not gonna repeat that. Moral of the story, don't go driving in your pajamas, or just don't pick up your parents' calls. That's actually really crappy advice because your parents will probably get mad at you. Don't listen to me. Yeah, this hasn't been at all helpful to my already irrational fear about hitting someone while I'm driving or someone hitting me while I'm driving. So yay for that. Bye! Yeah, the hair. I didn't bring this up right away because the inner 8-year-old boy inside of me said it would probably tick some of you guys off if I didn't. But yeah, I cut my hair. I cut like 14 inches off of it because I wanted to. I just didn't really do much with my hair before, so I'm like, why don't we just cut it short? I really like it. It's quite a lot easier because I can just like roll out of bed and it looks okay. The only thing I don't like is I am slightly concerned I might look like the guy that played Logan from Zoe 101, but I haven't been arrested. He has, so I'm getting further in life than he is. Yay!
Bright and early in their pajamas. I'm sorry, my windows are open. The traffic's annoying. There's like no one on my street usually except for now.